Hello and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Friday. It is the day before the Travers Stakes over at Saratoga. And we're going to talk about the Travers Stakes since it is really a nice race. And, kudos to the folks over there at NYRA for putting together a wonderful card, including the Travers Stakes. So let's get started over at Saratoga for Saturday, August 29th. So we're going to jump right into the Travers Stakes, which is the 13th race over at Saratoga on Saturday. It has an approximate post time, 6:35 Eastern. So that's 5:35 here in the Central Time Zone. On that 13th race, they're going 1.25 miles on the dirt, and these are 3-year-olds. If you've been following the 3-year-olds this year, most of the big names are in it. So, they put together a really nice field there for the Travers Stakes, $1.25 million purse. There's 10 horses that are scheduled to start. Hopefully won't see any scratches. And let's get started with the field. So in studying this race, I've gotten it down to a couple horses, which aren't going to be any secrets here. I don't feel that the one-horse emerging market has much of a chance here. I think this horse has kind of tailed off since the earlier part of the year. The 2-horse is a new face on the scene. For Brad Cox, leading change. This horse comes off a nice win in the Indiana Derby. Nice horse, but I think he's really biting off more than he can chew here. I don't know that leading change will do much here. He might be a pace factor. Coming off that fast race there at Indiana Downs, he might be a pace factor. I don't know if he's going to go fight with Napoleon Solo, but it's possibly could off that last race. And Napoleon Solo is the 3-horse. Chad Summers. I see Chad Summers is 0 for 24 at Saratoga. So, not a good record there. I'm not too sure what kind of horses he was entering there, but, having a tough meet. Napoleon Solo gets a new jock here. Paco Lopez, who had been riding this horse, came second in the Haskell. In watching that replay, I didn't watch that race live, but, I was kind of wondering, Paco Lopez kept the horse off the rail, which, Paco Lopez certainly knows every inch of that Monmouth racetrack. I don't know if anyone's won more races than Paco over there. I'm not too sure. Maybe Joe Bravo possibly. I don't know, but Paco's got to be up there. So he decided to take that horse off the rail and a couple paths out, and it looks like it probably cost him because Baby Vino ended up beating him that day. But, it was a sloppy track. I don't know. But Chad Summers must not have liked that ride because he changed jocks. He puts John Velasquez on the horse. Now, John Velasquez, as Paco knows every inch of Monmouth, John Velasquez knows every inch of Saratoga. So certainly a plus there with Velasquez riding. I do expect Napoleon Solo to be on the lead here. I don't know if he'll get any pressure from the 2-horse leading change. And if he does, then, that will cook it up a little bit. If not, I think, Napoleon Solo will probably set some average fractions. I don't like Napoleon Solo here. I don't even know that he'll hit the board, so I don't have him here. The 4-horse, who is the Puma. The Puma comes in for Gustavo Delgado. Javier Castellano gets back aboard this horse. Now, Castellano was riding this horse earlier in his career, and to some nice rides there from Castellano. Now, this horse scratched out of the Derby. I don't remember what was wrong with him, but obviously something wrong because we hadn't seen this horse since the Florida Derby, and his first start since then was a Haskell, running with Baby Vino and Napoleon Solo. Now, it was a sloppy track there. He didn't get out of the gate all too well, just kind of ran an even race. So I think you just kind of line that one out, or maybe that's a workout, in a grade 1. The Puma is certainly a nice horse. I could see the Puma certainly hitting the board here in the Haskell. That's the 4-horse. All right, let's go to the 5-horse, who is Renegade. Renegade for Todd Pletcher. Tyler Gaffalione takes the horse here. Now, Irad Ortiz had been on this horse for pretty much his whole career, all but one start, and Irad Ortiz got injured over at Saratoga a few weeks ago and hasn't made it back. So, best wishes to Irad. But Gaffalione is definitely the beneficiary here because he gets on this horse, and, Gaffalione rides occasionally for Pletcher, but I think it was just a matter of, who you're going to put on this horse. All the big jocks were assigned mounts. I suppose they could have gotten Velasquez on the horse. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, so I don't want to speculate on who did what or who chose what or whatever. But Todd Pletcher trains this horse. Gaffalione rides. Renegade has pretty much danced every dance and fought every fight. And he's 3-1 in the program. I don't think we're going to see 3-1 on Renegade. I think he's going to get bet harder than that. Renegade will be my pick for the 2026 Travers. I think Renegade comes into this race in really nice order. He ran a great race in the Kentucky Derby, overcoming a lot of adversity there and just getting beat by Golden Tempo. The Belmont, I don't really know what happened there in the Belmont. He ended up getting beat pretty easily by Golden Tempo and Commandment. But I think he followed that up with a really nice race in the Jim Dandy. And he ran a spectacular race there and beating Commandment. And Commandment was full of run that day. So I think that was a very nice win. I think Renegade's going to turn the tables on everyone here, including Golden Tempo, who's gotten them twice. So I think Gaffleone, I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and say Gaffleone is an improvement over Irad Ortiz, but Gaffleone is certainly a nice understudy for him. So he can certainly win races. He rides at Saratoga every year, so he knows that track. I think Gaffleone will get it done here. And I think Renegade will be your 2026 Travers champion. I just wonder, I don't know what I know that Rapoli has some partners, so I don't know if it'll be his colors on that canoe or what the deal might be, but I know that's pretty important there because they paint that canoe in the infield with the colors of the winner. So I'm going to select Renegade, the 5-horse, as the winner for the 2026 Travers. The 6-horse Ocelli is a maiden. Nice story here. I don't know if this is the highest earning maiden of all time. I remember there was a horse years ago in California was a maiden. The trainer Muang Cho had this horse. I can't remember the name now, but the horse won several $100,000 and was a maiden. So I don't know. Ocelli might be in that range there. Horse runs nice races, but I just don't think he's as good as horses like Renegade or Golden Tempo, so nothing there. Sea Strike comes in for Chad Brown. He's got 2 horses here. Flavian Pratt takes this one. Pratt's been on this horse in his 3 starts. He comes off a really nice bang-up win in the Curlin with a big number there. Now, I think that race probably puts him, in the hunt to get, to hit the board. I don't see him as being able to overtake horses like Renegade or Golden Tempo, but I could certainly see him hitting the board there at 5-1. That's the 7 Sea Strike. Baby Vino, nice story. Ended up beating Napoleon Solo. I think it was probably a good day for him, and he had good position there, and maybe he even loved the sloppy track. But I don't see anything from Baby Vino here. Paco Lopez, interestingly enough, takes the call there, having gotten beat by him in the Haskell. So Lopez gets on the horse, Vargas off the horse. I think Vargas probably deserved to get another chance there. I'm not too sure what happened there. But anyway, I don't see Baby Vino hitting the board. And then Golden Tempo. Golden Tempo is your Derby winner and your Belmont winner. Certainly cannot take anything away from those 2 wins, especially the Belmont. The Belmont, I think, was a bigger race for him than the Kentucky Derby was. There were slower fractions. He still came and beat Commandment, came and beat Renegade. So that was a really nice race. And I take nothing away from this horse. Cherie DeVoe has done a super job with this horse. Jose Ortiz certainly has done a super job riding this horse, and I think this horse will be in the mix. I just think Renegade beats him, on Saturday at the Travers. And then finally, Silent Tactic, who is Mark Casse trainee, Luis Saez. That's the 10 horse here. I don't see Silent Tactic doing much here. I don't have him hitting the board. That's the 10 horse Silent Tactic. All right, so let's recap the picks and a bet here for the 2026 Travers. Okay, so for the 2026 Travers, we're broken down the field, and I'm going to select the 5 horse, Renegade, to win the race. I think he's going to win, by a few lengths. So then what we're going to do is we've got a trifecta bet that we're going to make. We're going to make a trifecta key. We're going to put Renegade on top, so that's the 5 horse, with the 4, that's the Puma, the 7, that's Sea Strike, and the 9, Golden Tempo. So we're going to play 5 with 4, 7, 9 in the trifecta key. That's a $6 bet, and make a win bet on Renegade. So if you decide to play this, I wish you the best of luck. That's what I'm going to do. If you want to add or subtract or use these with your picks, do what works best for you. Let's wish the folks over at Saratoga a very safe day of racing for their big day on Travers Day. Let's wish ourselves some good luck and some good trips in this race. As always, I thank you so much for watching Fast Horses today and watching the picks for this Travers Stakes. So, as always, thanks so much to everybody who subscribed. We've had a lot of new subscribers recently. Thank you so much. I also appreciate everyone who's done it from day one and everyone in between. Thank you so much. Let's have a good day over at Saratoga on Travers Day. And we will have more coverage on fast horses today over the weekend at Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. Thanks again for watching. Have a wonderful day.